What is going on, everybody? We are back with another installment of the Savage Patriots. Let me
Happy
get
Friday.
Facebook up and running here real quick. Hang on, hang on. There we go. Finally kicked over. Oh, come on, go live. Thank you. Good. Now, set you guys to public. You guys should be ready to go. All right. So, first things first. The topic at hand today is
Famous Fridays, first off.
famous Fridays. Yeah,
You know it.
and we have
that laugh right there just to start things off.
What
is
happened?
Always a tell.
we, we got two individuals, man, that are bro. Anyway, they are weird. They're weird people, but they have this mindset about them that they are the spokespersons for Black people,
Yes.
and uh, their logic is quite interesting. And to start stuff off, I want to show you how they talk about Black people. This isn't them, okay, but this is a good example of how they speak to Black people and how they think of Black people before we get into the two we're talking about, okay?
You heard about my ex-boyfriend, right? 50 Cent and his support of Donald Trump.
Yeah,
How
what's
he
going on
tweeted
between
about
you?
it.
I saw your tweets and I go, wait, what's happening? Because you said he was your favorite ex-boyfriend, and then what does he do? He's supporting Trump?
He says he doesn't want to pay 62% of taxes, which, by the way, isn't a plan of Joe Biden's. That's a lie. So he doesn't want to pay 62% of taxes because he doesn't want to go from being 50 cent to 20 cent. And I had to remind him that he was a Black person, so he can't vote for Donald Trump, and that he shouldn't be influencing an entire swath of people who may listen to him because he's worried about his own personal.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
White liberal,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
white liberal woman,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
white liberal woman who is an elitist Hollywood thing,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
who said,
Had to remind him he was Black.
I had
Yeah.
to remind him that he was a Black person and that
He
he
can't.
can't.
Vote for Donald Trump.
He is not allowed. That's an old clip,
And,
isn't it? That's from like 2020, isn't it?
Boss
yeah,
lady.
yeah.
Yeah.
Boss lady says, I shouldn't vote for Donald Trump. Massa lady say.
Now,
I
people,
had to remind him
That's-
that he's a
That's
Black
also
person.
the woman who says that she likes smoking weed, masturbating all day, and that's the reason she doesn't have kids. So
that's her.
Just letting you know, that's the kind of batshit crazy.
No,
thing.
you understand this. Understand it. This is exactly the liberal agenda for Black people.
Yeah.
To get them inundated with
let me just
sexual
add to this.
orientations and everything else.
Let me add to this. She also aborted his baby.
There you go.
By this time, if that baby was alive, he'd be roughly 30 years old.
You know what? I think the baby was spared.
Yeah.
Imagine having her as a parent.
Oh.
I don't think I knew that little tidbit. That's an interesting one. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
she aborted his baby. She left about it on Conan.
So understand this, Black people. You are not allowed to vote for Donald Trump. Allowed. Okay, allowed. I just want to make sure we get that out of the way, because what's going to be next is along the same lines of these particular type of people. Where I first met and heard about Miss Nuggets and Chicken, she was at first called Chicken and Nuggies or something like that. I thought some silly name.
Yeah.
But she made headways when she got onto Sky News. And so we're gonna play what she said on Sky News. She wasn't on Sky News. They just grabbed her video from TikTok.
Good
but-
old Sky News.
Yeah.
Yes, this was a very peculiar video that we discovered. This seemingly woke on steroids soldier decided it would be a good idea to film herself and put it on the internet, saying that if ever martial law were declared in the United States, she would be perfectly happy to round up and shoot her fellow citizens if they didn't do
I remember that.
them to do. I mean, take a look at this.
Understand that if active duty military actually get deployed within the United States, that weapon is not just pointed at other people, other countries. It's pointed at you. If you do not get in your house when I tell you to, you become the enemy.
I remember that video.
Yeah, I remember that one. I forgot about that.
Oh my God, she is a joke. And the fact that she represents the U.S. Army at that time, that's even more embarrassing.
Oh,
What is she even talking about?
Yeah. That is
That's the woke.
that's the woke. Okay, so that's the type of person we're dealing with her first, because what she does a good job of is removing. She does all her racist statements on her lives. During her regular videos, she'll put out one or two things to support Black people, but the majority of the time that she's talking in her live, and this is something that she's most notorious for, is saying some very ridiculous and stupid things. But she likes to pretend that she's not ridiculous and stupid. But she is very ridiculous and stupid.
Yeah, she's
As
very
is most white liberals.
Yeah.
Here is one of the people that recorded her live, and this is one of the, now again, please make it make sense.
I'm here speaking to you personally. I have a degree in anthropology. I would love to talk historical racism.
Anthropology is racist.
This interest.
Anthropology is racist.
The same lines as math being racist.
Okay, I'm the dummy. Look, I will admit I'm the black slow one. Okay, that's me. Bro may not say it, and y'all may not tell me, but I will admit I'm black and slow. I'm like Jesse. Okay. Is anthropology racist?
No. How?
Okay, so what is anthropology?
Anthropology is usually a study of cultures, right? Or indigenous cultures usually.
Yeah.
Oh, so in her estimation, it's racist because you only get to study what the white man puts out.
I think that seems
Pretty
to
much
be the assertion.
what she thinks of what it was is what anthropology probably was back in the like 1800s, where they were still figuring shit out, you know, and they made a lot of dumb things and said a lot of dumb things, you know. So she's probably thinking of like the white Anglo aristocrats who had nothing better to do with their time than go on voyages to go look at stuff. That's probably what she's thinking. Is those guys, you know, those people that were pretend scientists, you know, just to make themselves look good in front of their friends. You know how they be in England. Yeah, that's probably what she's thinking.
90% of scientists are pretend.
So true.
Let's hear what our guy, I won't say boy, okay, because that's racist. I want to hear what our guy has to say about her statement. By the way, really smart guy right here.
Yeah, I like
need to follow him.
Really smart, really smart.
Yep.
Interesting creator goes by the name of Nuggets and Chicken. Nuggets hosts lives where she confronts white individuals about their racial power and privilege within our country, says that white individuals are born racist, and talks about how white individuals are pretty much the only ones that can be prejudiced, discriminate, or antagonized by the basis of someone's race. If you
Okay, real quick. He said a lot. Another dummy question. Okay. Today I'm going to be the dumb one. Okay. I'm a dummy, dumb.
Okay.
If all white people are racist inherently, why would anybody listen to her being white about racial issues?
Oh, I don't purple. I don't know. I mean, if all, like you said, if all white people are inherently racist, that makes her a racist, correct?
I would.
Yeah, she's a self-hater, so.
Choose me, professor.
Oh, yes, Lee. Yes, Lee. In the back of the class. Yes, Lee.
Asian.
She's an ally.
Oh, that's what it is. She's an ally.
Allies are allowed.
A space LIE.
Sure. We'll go with that.
It's ally.
you've been along for the ride that is my TikTok, you probably know that I would disagree with these sentiments. So a few weeks ago, I joined her queue. She rejected me and said that she only wants to talk to white individuals. Kind of weird because not all white individuals feel the same way, and neither do all black individuals. And she has evidence of this. But you know what? Fine. The topic says white people. Cool. I come across her live again yesterday, and she's blatantly spreading misinformation about the concept of racism. I mentioned this in the comments, and I try to request up. No result. She claims that she doesn't debate, and yet she'll come on this platform for hours and critique other people's positions. So I put in the comments, when are you going to have this conversation with someone that you consider black? Instead of using somewhat vague and open-ended questions to lure in and, if anything, bully timid and easily influenced white individuals that may not know what they're getting themselves into. I got muted for the entire live. I stayed in the request, but she had a guest up, and I really liked what he said. So I gave him a gift, and I got banned from the entire live. But not just banned, I got blocked from the entire account. This is someone who just last night claimed that she won't get rid of people that just disagree with her, while she's actively allowing for a space where even if you gift somebody that disagrees with her or her mods will get rid of you. Not only is she completely unwilling to talk to individuals that are going to give her even an inch of pushback, she's completely unwilling to talk to individuals that she considers black. But while claiming that she only wants to talk to white individuals, she'll have a plethora of black individuals sitting on her panel for hours as long as they agree with her. Sounds
That is her in a nutshell.
Sounds like the boss lady to me.
It is, you know, when you live in the big house, you can throw big rocks.
Massive.
And then she let her true colors show by gatekeeping black people stuff too as well. I'm not making this up.
Okay,
this is her. Okay.
You know what? You know what it is? She reminds me of the soccer lady, right?
Oh,
Megan Rapinoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rapinoe. That lady. She's just like, she's gatekeeping black people. Like, no, you can't. No, you can't.
No,
just wait.
You know, she reminds me of Macklemore.
I can see that too.
Yeah.
Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Yeah, she looks like a Proud Boy too.
So in this video, she's talking about a unstraight content creator advertising his stuff, and I don't know how many. It's a new thing. I'm assuming it's new because I never heard it growing up. Black people have been doing this. It's giving very much blah blah blah. You hear them saying it's giving, and they give us a certain term or a statement. Have you heard that before? Black people saying that,
like it's giving pick me.
Yeah, it's giving pick me, or it's giving very much
pick me vibe.
All right, so they'll use that. It's giving blah blah blah. So bear with the cringe of the guy talking and her for the end result. Okay.
What's up, TikTok? So this message is for Quip. If you're not Quip, you can keep scrolling. So earlier this month, you had an advertisement for your Pride collection for your products. This advertisement, and I mean, overall, you know, rainbow capitalism, but whatever. But there was a particular quip, if you will, that I had a problem with.
$5 from every purchase of any of these products is going to go towards an LGBTQ plus charity. Get this while it's still here. It's limited edition. It's not going to be around for long. They're all on their website, so definitely check it out. This collection is giving, whatever that means.
This collection is giving, whatever that means. Now, I know it's kind of hard to see, but that says, take pride in healthy habits. So, Quip, my question to you is it healthy to appropriate AAVE and then...
I wonder if anybody can tell me AVE is?
African American.
Yeah.
No, AVE.
Oh. African
vernacular English is what it is.
Thank you. The
last part of that.
It's vernacular, you know. Well, now she's talking to white people. Stop talking like black people talk.
That's the master for you.
I want
something that a racist might say. Stop talking black.
Was there a council of Negroes that said, "Hey, we have a certain way of talking, and nobody else can talk like that"?
No. Actually, yes. They're called Blacktivists online.
Well, I didn't get the memo.
You know what? We've got to keep the language pure.
That's right.
Okay.
I didn't get taught that growing up. What language are they talking about? I wasn't taught that.
It's basically like going to like the Appalachians or the Ozarks and going, hey, could you maybe not sound as much of a redneck as you can?
Yeah. I just find it funny that she's telling a white man not to speak in African American vernacular, Like she is getting to this. All he said was, "Is giving very much," and he didn't know what it. This would have been your opportunity, since you are a gatekeeper of the language, to help the man out. I don't know. It's one of your community, okay? He's in your rainbow community, so I would think you'd reach an arm out and say, yo, man, hey, brother, let me holler at you, man. Look what you've been doing, man. You see what you're doing is you're culturally appropriating the Negro stuff, man. You could have talked to him.
You gotta talk with your hands and clap.
Yeah, and clap, and make sure you do the head thing too. Yeah. I mean, you could have.
Oh,
but
maybe
it's
like a man in there too. It's just like the same thing, you know. It's like telling people, "Hey, just stop talking how you talk. Don't do that."
Yeah.
I wonder what she would tell people that actually grew up in the South, white people that grew up in the South alongside black people, and they come out talking a certain way. You're gonna tell them to stop talking? Go to New Orleans and tell them that. Go to Jacksonville, Florida, and tell them that.
Go to Jamaica, where you got them white dudes out there sounding just like them.
Well, no, I'd like for her to approach Eminem that way.
They have been. They've been trying to, but black people defend Eminem. So
yeah, she got to back off.
But yeah, that poor white Jamaican dude that's on TikTok who kept getting attacked because they thought he was like putting up a bit, right?
Yeah,
He's like, but I grew up here. This is how I sound. I can't just fix that. You know what I mean?
And that dude's funny. He is funny.
Yeah.
He is funny.
But it was just funny that these are the same type of creators that go after him for the way he speaks because he grew up in Jamaica. Like, how is he supposed to speak? Is he supposed to be like, well, I have to be a proper Englishman and all these seas of Jamaicans?
If he were to talk white, he would have to talk British at that point. Just so you're aware, he doesn't. In Jamaica, you can't speak American, although they do some of them from when they cover up. But if you're going to be in Jamaica and say you're going to speak not Jamaican, then you'd have to speak English in terms of Britain English.
Then to condescendingly be like, whatever that means.
He was not condescending at all.
How does
actually,
she know that?
I don't even know how she got condescending out of that.
She's condescending wearing that uniform.
Thank you. All the dude, look, I've never been one to defend people, but like him. But I'll tell you this, and I will say those people. I don't defend those people. But if the man is saying it's giving, and he doesn't know what it actually means, and he's honest with you and said whatever that means, that's not condescending. It's not like he said it's giving, whatever that means. That's not what he said.
No,
that would be condescending. But he didn't do that. I mean, you're reading it because you like to code switch. So
yeah, she's clout chasing.
And I said something in the comment section earlier this month, but yet that video is still up. And
yeah, because he's advertising his merch. You don't get to just take down people's stuff because you disagree with them, you dummy.
Who are you?
You dyke. No one cares. No one cares what you think. Just because you say something, all of a sudden white people should just jump. Who are you?
And that's the problem with a lot of creators like this. You know, they buy a lot of their followings. Don't let them fool you. Not that many people follow her. She's not that important. Really then they get on here and act like they're in charge of TikTok. I did this and I reported in. Nothing happened. Like, who are you? Who are you outside of TikTok? Who are you? You're nobody.
Isn't it always the gay ones too? It ain't never. You hardly ever see outside of Victoria. You hardly see a straight white male or a straight white female trying to get the backs of black people.
Nope.
Well, it's a lot of liberal white women that do this type of thing.
Yeah,
it's a habitual. I'm offended people. Their recreation is being offended.
Yeah, because in their head they think that people of color or people they think are beneath them, because they actually do think that people of color are beneath them. They can't speak for themselves. This is why they're so bold and they come out so hard speaking for people that can speak for themselves, because they want to be part of the group. You're not going to be a part of the group at the end of the day.
Period.
They're using you.
So I would say that white liberal wokest ideology, or like that,
is a cancer.
The thing that we usually talk about when we say something's woke is inherently a white supremacist idea, because there's no other way to look at it, because it has to, in order for their ideology to work, that means white people have to be over other races in the first place, and that they have privilege, which gives them unafforded things, is what they say. So they have to be above everyone. They have to be Ubermensch in order to be higher than everybody else for them to have to be brought down in the first place.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Saw it this morning at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So can we take this down and make the healthy habit of taking accountability? Because that
No. Who are
What?
you? Who are you?
Accountability.
Who are you?
man is sitting there getting paid. He's getting paid by y'all to sit there and appropriate and then to essentially just be like condescending about it. And especially with something that is so prevalent in the gay community, especially for white gay men, to sit there and appropriate and turn black women into some caricature character for them to mock. And by the way, I subscribed to Quip.
Isn't
for
she
a
acting
couple
like a
of years
dude?
now. But I have no problem unsubscribing and telling everyone I know to not subscribe. So can we take this shit down and take accountability?
Nope, I'm subscribing today.
Wait, what does that verbiage have to do with black women?
It's AVE.
But that's just African American vernacular English. There's no.
So here's the thing. In the Church of Woke, black men rank under black women. You have to understand.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. And then gay white men rank just above straight white men.
Yeah.
That's how the rankings work.
Yeah.
I see.
So being a gay black woman is the highest rank you could possibly have. Well, trans gay.
Isn't she
in there
appropriating being a dude?
Yes, she is.
Yes.
Okay. I was just asking,
Yeah, that's what you
But
call
that's okay.
appropriating male culture.
Yeah, that's okay though. You can appropriate us, but God
because
forbid
white people
somebody
have no
appropriate.
culture, is what she goes off of.
Well, they have none. Like all of them steal. Okay. Now again,
so.
I'll go back to my original point. Why are we supposed to listen to you when you blatantly tell people that you're a racist?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm black, the last thing I want to do is associate with an actual self-pronounced racist. Why would I do that? That's as dumb as it can be. I wouldn't say that to anybody. Say, you know what? Look at that person over there. That's a racist. And you being black, you need to follow them.
Yep.
Why? Because she talks about racism. No, really? Of course she would talk about racism. That's what she knows.
Mm-hmm.
Don't appropriate the culture.
And you know what's funny about her lives is that the majority of her mods are black women. A lot of her mods. So she's using these black women to block other black people. Just so, as you said, she's racist, but she goes, look, I have black mods. How does that make me racist?
That's like saying I'm Robert Burt, but I have black friends.
Yeah. She racist as hell.
Ain't that something?
Mm-hmm.
That is some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff, man. We go from her to her counter, which is a gay white male. Well, I'm calling him gay, whether he admits it or not. He did admit it that he's been with both. So the instant you swing one way and the other, trust me, you're not bi. You're gay. I don't care what you try and convince yourself anything. The instant you step over that line, there is no bi involved. But then we will tell you bi, but there's no bi involved. You gay, okay, bro? You're gay, and eventually you'll leave your woman for a dude. That's just truth,
and vice versa.
And vice.
Yeah.
So the guy we're gonna have on the pre-text we're gonna have for him is way more egregious than anything Nuggets said. Literally worse than anything Nuggets said.
This guy.
This one taketh the whole entire cake. So we're gonna let me find it here. I want to find the right timer. There it is. Got it. All right, brace yourself. I wasn't ready myself when I saw this first. But it's Jesse. Here we go.
I want to ask you about this video. You made a video that destroys.
Right. Yeah, it destroys. Yeah. You know how the YouTube game goes.
Destroys black conservatives.
Yeah. I love that video. We got real mad.
Explain that to me.
Yeah. So I believe in Have you ever read Karl Marx?
No.
I believe in something called class interest. I think that society and democracy work best when we're repping our own interests. So like you're a man, I'm a man. We want to fight for men, you know? I'm white, you're black. We want to fight for black and white. Well, you know.
No. See how instantly you went off the rails?
That's not true.
And fighting for men versus fighting for black and white, completely different topic altogether, Vaush. Like, maybe the bun is pulled too tight and all the blood is just getting sucked up into the tip of your head and there's no function left, but they're not mutually exclude. I mean, bro, come on, man.
And aren't they the same species? So the way he's saying it is, we want to fight for men, but we want to fight for this race and this race because we're two different species. I mean, your race is beneath us, and my race, I have to teach them how to be better over you by showing you'll never be anything.
Yeah, you know what the current thing is that's going around in that community, right? The woke community is that white people aren't human because they have too much Neanderthal DNA in them.
I keep hearing that.
Yeah, is that Europeans aren't really Homo sapiens because they're too much of a Neanderthal.
That's not true.
Which used to be an insult that people would use towards black people, but now has been reappropriated to use against white people because DNA has come out to prove that.
No, that's not true.
It gets worse, exponentially worse.
We want to fight for our own interests. I think
I fight for what is right.
Do you think it's right for black people and white people to be equal?
Right.
Do you think it's right for black and white people to be equal in like an ideal society?
I don't know, you guys, when you say equal.
Thank you. You see, that's why I like Jesse. He asked the important questions. When y'all say equal, what do you mean by equal? Anybody tell me what the version of equal on the left is versus the equal on the right is?
Not getting stopped by the police just for being black.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that's always their go-to.
I don't get that.
I don't either. I don't get stopped by the police just for being black. Never have.
Is there a different kind of black that affords that?
No, see, he's gonna tell you that. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Same legal rights.
You cannot make a person equal. Only God can do that, and He did that when He created us all, and that He created us in His image. And no human being can make you equal to anybody or anything else.
Fair, not on an individual level. Do you think that black and white people should have equal legal rights, equal access to education, healthcare, that sort of thing?
We have that.
Oh, yes. Well, then I'm glad we agree. That's the right thing, huh? There are a lot of black conservatives who I think don't vote in their class interests. For example, being
right there. All right.
In their class
interests. Now hear me out. Hear me out. Just let me get this one thought out. Vaush believes in equality, that we are equal. Okay. But the system doesn't treat us equal, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But then you tell us that you think that black conservatives don't vote in their class interest.
So
which class?
Yeah. Which class are you talking about?
Yeah, which class is that?
And on the interest point, usually when people like this smooth brain monkey right here, whenever they talk about self-interest or interest, you vote against your interest. It's never your interest because they don't know your interest. It's their interest. It's what they perceive your interest should be. So in his mind,
good point.
He's perceiving that black people are X, Y, and Z in his mind. But he doesn't know every black person. He doesn't know their self-interest. And we're not all the same. We're not a monolith. And we always going to say that we are not a monolith. He thinks he's somebody important too. He'll get destroyed here.
Here we go.
A fan of Trump? Whew. I don't know about that one. That seems like some propaganda.
So you think that blacks who support the Great White Hope should not support him for what reason?
I think that a lot of them are mistaken. Yeah, I don't think they meaningfully represent his interests.
Whose interests?
Their interests as black.
And what are their interests that they should not vote for the Great White Hope?
Well, right now in America, the average wealth of a black person is somewhere in the ballpark of 1/10 the average wealth of a white person.
And why is that?
Probably redlining generational inequality. The fact that they were second-class citizens up until the 1960s.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
Wide variety of factors.
Would that be the case if black people got married, worked for themselves, took over their own lives, raised their children, invest their monies, and did the same thing that white people are doing, would they still be whatever?
Probably wouldn't hurt.
So why not encourage them to do it the way the white people are doing it,
do.
rather than giving them something free like that or telling them that they're victims?
They just
why
face a
not
lot
tell
of...
them the right? If white people are doing it a certain way, working, getting married, raising their children, seeing to it that they get a good education. If that worked for white people, why not recommend that for black people?
Because white
Instead
people
of
had the
using this
benefit.
lie about racism and slavery and all that crap.
Do you think slavery was a lie?
It's not affecting black people at all today. It's a made-up lie that is keeping blacks back.
It's true. White folk have done a lot to advance their material interest in this country, but they did it while the system was in favor of them. You know, white and black folk smoke marijuana about the same rate. Black folk get locked up 4 times as much for it. Stuff like that adds up.
And you know why that is?
I'm ready to hear.
Blacks can afford private lawyers. They need the government to give them a lawyer. And the lawyer that comes from the government is overloaded. He crowded with all the other black cases. So they're not going to get the same representation. But if they took control of their lives and made their own money and earn their own way, they can afford a lawyer just like you.
Well, what if
is that right or not?
Well, what if we
is that right or not?
No.
It is right. And to his point about the marijuana issue, a lot of times, not all, a lot of times, usually the black people, so when they throw those statistics up about black and white people getting arrested and black people doing more time, a lot of those black people were repeat offenders.
Thank you.
It's not their first time. So yes, this black guy and this white guy both got picked up with having an ounce of marijuana. This white guy, maybe it was his first time. This black guy, he was a multiple offender. Of course, he's going to get more time, and vice versa. I worked in a jail system, and you do see it. Usually, the guys, their first offense, they usually get slap on the wrist, get released, go to court, and be done. The guys usually look like us, not all, are repeat offenders, and they get a longer sentence. They don't
also is regional.
Yeah,
they're never taking into account the regionality of things. So, like, who's more likely to get arrested for meth?
Thank you.
Yeah.
What I'm just pointing that there. Yeah, it might be marijuana charges, but look at the meth charges. Like, that's probably going to be mostly white people. I'm just saying it's probably going to be southern white people, as a matter of fact, and they're probably poor. So the other thing is that I love how they want to use statistics for crime when it comes to incarceration of black people, but not mention the fact that the higher crime statistic for crime itself as well. They say that's racist, but it's not racist to look at the statistics for marijuana use and crime.
Yeah.
So it's like they always do the pick and choose thing where they're like, oh yeah, all these FBI statistics are right when they agree with what I want to say, but if they go against what I want to say, then it's wrong. And it's like, okay, which is what he was bringing up. Is like, yeah, they're more likely to do this thing. So maybe if they fix the community and the family, then they wouldn't have so many issues. And he's like, no, that's not right because you're black and I know what I'm talking about. Because this is how it comes across. It's like, I'm your white savior. I know better.
He'll say it too. Just wait. He'll say it.
So if black people work, save their money, earn their way, they could not afford a good lawyer.
Well, you could say all of this.
Are you saying they could not afford a good lawyer?
If they worked their way real hard.
If they did exactly what white people do.
If they did exactly what white people did.
Work hard, save their money.
Some individuals.
Would they be able to afford a good lawyer? Yes or no?
Some individuals, yes. Most of them, no. Most of them, no.
Why not?
Right? Look, notice the premise that Jesse put down.
Yeah.
And I want you to really listen to Vaush's mindset about black people.
Mm-hmm.
They say stuff without saying it, but they say it.
Yep.
If they work just as hard, make just as much, and manage just as well, they will be able to afford a lawyer. But here's what also the caveat is: they probably will less be likely to do anything stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Vaush's concept is that even if they do that, they still can't afford a good lawyer.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
And that's not just, again, Vaush is, this guy gives me a headache, right? Again, I worked in a jail system. There were a lot of poor whites, a lot of poor Hispanics, a lot of poor people from all races in there. The poor whites, the poor Hispanics, the poor Asians, all of them got the same type of lawyer the poor black guy did. Public defender was no different.
Right.
No different than the guys in there that had the money, got their own lawyers. They lawyered up and they got what they got. So it's not a race thing. We say it all the time. It's an economic thing.
I'll give you 2 examples of how what he's saying is not true. One, Will Smith. Why is he not in jail for assaulting Chris?
Good point.
Right.
Another one. Why is Brown not in jail for beating Rihanna?
Rihanna. Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Why is half the NFL not in prison
Why
for
is
beating women?
Diddy not in jail for beating his ex-girlfriend in a hotel on
Good
video?
Yeah, because
not
he's
in
an
jail?
FBI. He's an FBI informant. That's why.
Well, we know that, but that's the point. Is that
The
if
principle
you make
applies.
enough money and you're famous enough and you're in the echelons of the famous people or the neo nobility, you get away with things.
That's right.
Hey, wasn't Oprah's
Doesn't
school
matter that
involved
they're
in a
black,
bunch of
they're
rape?
still getting away with it.
Oprah's school was involved in a bunch of rape, and she's not in prison.
Nope.
Good point.
But Martha Stewart went. Go figure that one.
For insider trading. Yeah.
Ain't that crazy? A white lady went before a black lady. I
Yep.
thought the system was rigged.
I did too.
Continue, Vaush. I
Imagine
know you're
that.
going to get to your point here in a second.
If most of them worked, saved their money, raised their children, invested their
because
money, and did the right
improving
thing,
your
why
life-
wouldn't they be able to afford a lawyer?
Improving your life as a group of people is a stats game. You increase the odds of people doing well by improving their environment.
What?
You improve their lives by improving their environment.
One thing that he said that bugged me, that term as a group of people. It should be each individual does things to improve their life, not as a group.
Isn't
if
that
each
just-
individual,
Isn't that Jesse's premise?
about individualism?
Yeah.
It is right. So if they would focus more on individualism and again stop treating us all like a group, like a monolith, we're all the same, and you're speaking for all of us. Speak for individuals.
Right.
If individuals would do the right thing to better their life, maybe they wouldn't be in a situation. Not the group. The group can't do nothing for me.
Here's
here we
a funny thing about that is like at these are collectivists though. They all think in groups think. That's all they do. It's like we all have to do things as a group because that's the communist way, right? We have to do this as a group, but the thing is they have to make everything about race because they can't make everything about class apparently, which I think it would work a lot better if they went with the class ideal instead of the race ideal.
Marlon, you just took a deep breath.
Yeah, because it's gonna get worse.
White people improve their lives as a group or individually?
I think that both. Individually, you can work really hard, but
No,
as
I
a
asked,
group, we benefit.
Do white people improve their lives as a group or as individuals?
I would say as a group, there's more affecting white.
Do you see how he has the mentality that white people are indeed better?
Yeah.
Now hear me out. He's saying that when white people do something, again, Jesse is giving the same dynamic across both races. That's the premise. The dynamic is white people do something, black people do the same thing. In Vaush's mind, all the white people benefit as a group when certain white people do it. When certain black people do it, they don't all benefit as a group. What? Really? Wow. Okay.
White people than there is.
So white people work together as a group.
Yes, there's a lot of input.
You're not being
preference.
honest.
No, I am. I'm absolutely being
No,
honest.
you're not being honest.
I'm absolutely
White
being
people
honest.
fight against each other.
Oh,
They're
yeah, no, of
jealous
course they
each
do.
other. They try to
we
get the
do
best
live.
from each other. They do the same thing normal people do.
They do, absolutely they do. I don't think white or black people
So
really
why
on a
do black
fundamental
people
level are
always?
different.
Why do you people always line black people up as a group? We're not a group.
Well, I
We are
studied
individuals.
So I studied this.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh, I studied it.
Here it comes.
Oh, sir, I know you.
This is why Nuggies says anthropology is racist, by the way. It's what
I
Vaush is
know
about.
you, dark pores. I studied you.
I want to come back to that because I have to play
God.
AJ's video before we go forward because it makes this would be a perfect segue into what he's about to say. Okay?
This is true.
Let's do it. This is glorious.
Yeah.
This is a throwback too.
I will give AJ all the credit for this because this is Vaush as the duck is Vaush. Okay, just listen because it fits perfectly what he's about to say.
So I have a degree in African American Studies and Sociology. I just want to let you know that I read a book where it says that you. So I have a degree in African American Studies and Sociology. I just want to let you know that I read a book where it says that you.
Oh, that is so true.
I know a lot of people feel that way when a goose chase after them. I just wish I could kick that thing
Oh
right
my
in the face.
God. That is so true, though. It's just like all these cosmopolitan liberals talk like that. Well, I studied abroad and I studied African studies and I know blacks. I know them all. Like, what the-
I took African American diaspora studies in college. Okay, I know what I'm talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. The pores.
That was actually a course offered at UT. It probably still is, by the way. They have an entire department for it.
That was
Let
too
them
good.
eat cake.
Kapow!
That's how I want to do them too, man. Like, shut up.
All right, Mr. Vaush, tell us about your credentials.
Earn their way, they could not afford a good lawyer.
Well, you could say all of this
Are you saying they could not afford a good lawyer?
if they worked their way real
If
hard.
they did exactly what white people do,
If they did exactly what white people did,
work hard, save the money,
some individuals,
would they be able to afford a good lawyer? Yes
some
or no?
individuals, yes. Most of them, no. Most of them, no.
You
Why
hear that?
not? If most of them worked, saved their money,
Lord.
raised their children, invested their
Because
money, and did the right
improving
thing,
your
why
life-
wouldn't they be able to afford a lawyer?
Improving your life as a group of people is a stats game. You increase the odds of people doing well by improving their environment.
Do white
Make sure you log that. Make sure you log that because that's what Jesse's saying to do.
Yeah.
Okay? But Vaush is thinking that black people can't improve their environment.
So what he's alluding to is the government should
Has
improve
to
the
help.
environment,
Exactly.
not
Because black people can't do it.
Yeah.
because they can't do
It's-
it themselves. So okay,
Right.
Just
This is
making
what
sure.
liberals like Vaush do. Is they look at the white people in the United States, the majority, and they look at the poor whites and they go, they don't exist.
Right.
And just wipe it away. Everything from middle class and above is the only thing that exists for white people. Everything below middle class doesn't exist to them.
Kind of
Like,
weird.
Good.
Poor
You're with the
people in the South or
poor.
anything like that. We're okay. We're not going to talk about them.
Whatever.
They don't exist.
their lives
They're not
as a
real.
group or individually?
I think that both. Individually, you can work really hard, but
No,
as
I
a
asked,
group, we benefit.
Do white people improve their lives as a group or as individuals?
I would say as a group, there's more affecting white people than there is.
So white
individual.
people work together as a group.
Yes, there's a lot of input.
You're not being
preference.
honest.
No, I am. I'm absolutely being
No,
honest.
you're not being honest.
I'm absolutely
White
being
people
honest.
fight against each other.
Oh,
They're
yeah, no, of
jealous
course they
each
do.
other. They try to
we
get the
do
best
live.
from each other. They do the same thing normal people do.
They do, absolutely, they do. I don't think white or black people
So
really
why
on a
do black
fundamental
people
level are
always?
different.
Why do you people always line black people up as a group? We're not a group.
Well, I
We are
studied.
individuals.
So I studied this in school. I'm very interested.
Well,
by
then go
this.
back and get your money.
Oh man.
Oh
Put it
wow.
out there. Like, yeah, I think you wasted your time, bro.
Oh God, I love Jesse. He
He's saying,
inspires.
go back and get your money.
He inspires me, man.
That is that's comical right there, man. Good man. Look, you got robbed, bro. You got
robbed.
I want to know what Vaush can tell a man who's older than him, lived through the era he only reads about.
Mhm.
All Vaush can do is read about the
That's right.
Jim Crow era and the tail end of slavery. That's all he can do. He can't talk to Jesse about any of that because Jesse actually lives that life. So how you going to try and educate a black man who's actually lived the things that you're talking about by telling him he don't know what he's talking about? That makes you a racist, bro. You're the actual racist.
Right there, he's telling an educated black man that he's still smarter than him.
Thank you.
Even though this guy's been around, very intelligent. He always says he's not, but Jesse is.
No, Jesse's a smart man.
Yeah, he is a very smart man. He's telling him to his face in subtle ways that he's smarter than Jesse because he studied
in his college days.
He read a book.
You studied, man. I read a book.
I got an
somewhere.
A in
From-
African American cuisines.
You know what's always funny about the African American studies in colleges is it's usually wrote by white women.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
Like
That's
almost
funny.
all of them are completely white women that
You-
write
you
about
know,
it.
That's funny you brought that up because when I was in high school, they finally came up with black studies or African American studies in high school. And guess who the teacher was?
It's a white woman.
A white gay guy.
Oh,
might as well be a
no
white female.
lie. No lie. I was like, oh,
We get your money back,
didn't-
bro. Now, mind you, Jesse's in his 70s, by the way. People who didn't know, he's not a young buck. He's been around.
Hey, listen, let me tell you, if I could get that money back, ooh, I'd do it in a
Do
heartbeat.
you see now that they lied to you?
Well,
Why do you?
no,
That's
hold
why
on,
you
wait,
see
wait.
blacks have victims.
A quick question. Do you believe improving the environment a person grows up in can increase the likelihood of them succeeding, owning property, getting wealthy?
Chicken or egg, stupid debate. That's what that is. That is a chicken or egg debate. Because you know what you can do in the environment you're in is clean it while you're there.
Yep.
Okay, depending on somebody else, because here's the problem. If you don't learn how to clean, you know what will never happen? The place won't stay clean. Here's what you can do. I can have a dirty house. And I become content living in this dirty house. But I start to get sick because of this dirty house. So people intervene and they say, we're going to clean your house for you. They never tell me to clean my house. They never encourage me to clean my house. I don't get fined if the house isn't clean. I'm allowed to just leave the house dirty. And then people come in and clean the home.
Right.
2 days later, the house looks the exact same as when they came the first time because I have not learned to clean my house. If I were just doing it, just clean my house, I wouldn't have the need for people. If I even learned how to clean my house, I wouldn't need people to come and do nothing for me. This is what Jesse's point is. You want to improve the environment without, it's like what happens when they put young kids in the NFL. What do they first do? Splurge money everywhere, blah, big house, blah, big truck, and then all of a sudden they're in debt. And then when they stop the NFL, what the first thing they go do? Crime.
Yep.
Why is that? Because what you're trying to do is in reverse. You have to help the individual realize that you are the only one responsible for your future. And if you don't fix it, no one else can. Chicken or egg, dummy. Chicken or egg. And it obviously was a chicken first.
You know, I was thinking he's probably one of the people that would bring up the question instead of like the woman, like the bear in the woods or a man. They would go, which would you rather trust as a crackhead or a black dude? And then be like, probably I would. His answer would be, I'd trust the crackhead over the black dude. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Like if you, for example, if you go to a better school, if your dad isn't locked up in prison, if you have more generational wealth, do you think these things increase the chance of you succeeding in the long term?
It does.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking, why don't you people recommend that black people get married and so they have good parents to guide them rather than putting them in a victim box and making them think that they can't make it and then using them to promote homosexuality, lesbian,
lesbian. I love it when he does that. Lesbian.
I defend lesbians on my own time. I don't need no blacks.
So why
to do that.
you people put the blacks at a box?
I don't need no blacks to do that.
That's right.
Now, didn't come out with.
Now, did you listen to his tone? Did you listen to his tone?
Yeah, it was very.
Okay.
It was very.
I'm just saying.
That rolled off kind of weird, didn't it?
Yeah, it rolled off his tongue a little weird.
Yeah.
Not just weird. It rolled off smooth.
Smooth.
Like it was. Like he's done it before.
To use them rather than telling
Tell you
them, being honest with them
Let's meet
about
50-50.
what they really
We can
need to do.
compromise on this. I'll tell you what, I'll stop treating them like victims. I'll say, hey, you got to work hard. You got to overcome your status. At the same time, I can support for institutional reform that gives them, say, for example, more money to the public defenders.
How about
even on
encourage them to
charges.
stop the crime? They will have to do the time.
I'll do both.
And he noticed, like, he said, I'll do both. Like, he's going to come in like Superman. Somebody save me. And I'm here to save you, darkies. Oh, I'm here to save you. I'm going to help you.
Look there, it's woke man come to save the day.
Oh, I'm gonna do a meme.
Super woke man.
That's what I told you right earlier. Is that their ideology has to be inherently white supremacist because white people have to be above somebody to save them in the first place.
Yep.
I have to be in a better position than you in order to come down from my high horse, from my high position to save you from yourselves.
Yeah. Oh, he's about to open that can now.
Oh man,
help their system and help the individual. I love helping.
And so you don't think that black conservatives should vote for Donald Trump?
Nah.
You don't think that?
Well, I don't think anyone should.
You
but
don't think
especially
that
not
black
conservatives.
conservatives should have their own minds to do what they want?
Oh no, they should be able to do what
Do
they
you
want.
think they should vote like the radical blacks who are voting for Democrats?
Absolutely.
So you don't think that black people, black conservatives, have the right to be individuals?
Oh no, they have
and
the right,
think and,
and
do
I have
for
the right to
themselves,
disagree.
and
Yeah.
think and do for themselves.
Oh, they can totally do what they want. I have the right to complain about it.
So why are you
Free
putting
country.
them down for standing and being individuals?
It's not so much that I'm doing it for them being individuals. I'm putting them down for making bad decisions.
So you're saying blacks don't have the
Irony.
common sense
Irony.
to make good decisions for themselves?
A lot of people don't. I don't like.
How about the black
whites who,
conservatives? They don't have the common sense to make decisions for themselves?
I would say that being a black conservative pretty much like categorically means you don't have much common sense. Yeah.
Wow.
Remember his phrasing there about the being wrong and we have the right to criticize it, because there's this other clips we need to show that shows about him being wrong. Very, very
Mhm.
wrong.
I just want y'all to hear that right. Okay. And like I said, it gets worse. It gets worse.
To make decisions for themselves?
Yeah. At least politically.
And that's why you call Candace Owens a Nazi?
Oh yeah. Oh, I love calling Candace Owens a Nazi. She's pretty, isn't she?
Because she's black, she doesn't have sense enough to think and do for herself.
Oh no, I call plenty of whites Nazis too. Don't worry.
But Candace Owens is a conservative, and you just said conservative blacks don't have the common sense to think and do for themselves. So that's why you call Candace Owens a Nazi?
I think that a black Nazi probably is lacking some sense of self-preservation. But I call lots of folks Nazis, and I would say all conservatives probably lack in common sense. So don't worry, I ubiquitously distribute my dislike of conservatives.
And what
blacks,
is in
whites.
Candace Owens' situation? What is it about her that caused you to call her a Nazi?
That defending Hitler stuff was pretty out of left field. Let me tell you.
She didn't defend Hitler.
But she didn't defend Hitler.
No, she didn't defend Hitler.
He also threw in that backhanded compliment, right? She's pretty, isn't she?
Yeah.
That's something a white, like, catty woman says to a
Look at
friend
his hand.
in a backhanded way.
Isn't he doing the white power symbol with his hand?
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. There he is. He's doing that.
Yeah.
The okay.
How is it that this fool could have a platform of 400,000 people listening to this moronic, stupid, this drivel, this absolute drivel, and think he has some sort of intellectual handle on anything, much less black culture?
Mm-hmm.
I'm baffled at people like this, but at the same time, I'm not.
For you, because she said everything Hitler did within his own borders was fine. It was.
That's not what she said either.
No.
That is so. Again, Vaush, look, I know you're dumb, and I get that the hair thing is a real troublesome thing for your two brain cells. But if you would just take the time to go do, I don't know what they call it, research, you'd realize she didn't say that. Like, not even remotely close to what you think she said.
Right.
Nope.
Technically, what you're doing is more akin to what Nazis do than she ever did.
Mm-hmm.
Had ambitions abroad. That one's the trouble started.
And
but
why is she a Nazi for agreeing with that? Or saying that? I didn't hear her say it, but why is she a Nazi for having her own opinion?
Oh, I mean, the Nazis did have their own opinions too.
But
I don't
why
think
is
those two
she
things are mutually
one?
exclusive.
Does that make you a Nazi because you have your own opinion, you dummy?
I mean, just gosh.
Look, the level of stupid coming out of you is way higher than your cholesterol. Way higher. Your BMI couldn't beat your stupidity. And that's stinking high too.
That's pseudo intellectuals for you, though.
Oh wow.
Soy boy.
Good Lord, man. Get on a treadmill.
I don't know who's worst, him or Destiny.
Well, they're twins, man. One in the same.
You know, I don't know who's worse, man. Like, this guy's a little more, arrogant and what's the word I'm looking for? The way he talked, condescending. The way he's talking to Jesse. And the other guy's a little more.
During the Cultural Revolution.
I was going to say something.
Revolution.
To your point of him having followers, we know, and everybody knows at this point in time, that a lot of these buffoons like this actually buy all those followers.
Yeah, for sure.
They buy them to boost whatever they have to boost, but there's no way that he has 400,000 followers with people listening to crap like this. Yeah. Unless they're closet racists. I'm just saying.
Look, Crazy. I
music
fully
industry.
agree that he should have taken that band off his head and wrapped it around his stomach. He has his own gravitational pull at this point. He's like Peter Griffin.
Yep. With a
A
beard.
black conservative, why is she one for have her own opinion?
I think that white Nazis are also bad.
I'm
and
talking
also
about
condemn
Candace
them.
Owens, though.
Oh, that she has every right to express her opinion. I have every right to call her very mean names for expressing those opinions.
I'm glad you said that.
Mm-hmm.
I am glad that you have given liberty now to anyone that has a disagreeing point of view to go into ad hominems, which is why I will feel free to completely go after you with ad hominems. I will have no problem going after you with that.
Yep.
Agreed.
You unburnt marshmallow, you.
Caped crusading casserole.
Yes, right.
Well, he is a ginger.
Go ahead.
I said, well, he is a ginger. He doesn't have a soul to begin with.
And well, there you go. That
He looks like
I'm white. I
Michelin
can say
Man.
that. It's fine.
He looks like the Michelin Man with a hair bun.
Hey, what this is, he looks like when Cartman found out he was a ginger. He looks like a ginger Cartman is what he looks like.
He does.
Do you hate black conservatives?
I hate conservatives. Do I
How
hate
about
black
how
conservatives?
about black ones?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I
Lisa's honest. Can't fault him for intellectual consistency, if you can call it intellectual.
Uh-huh.
I do love all people, but I hate black conservatives.
You love all people, but you hate black conservatives.
So
you know what that
he
says,
doesn't-
right?
He doesn't consider us people.
We're not people.
Oh,
Thank you.
good point.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that black people are monkeys then, huh?
Yeah. You know who else didn't consider us people?
Slave
The
owners.
clan. Yeah.
Huh. Wow, Vaush. Didn't know that's how you felt about black people.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Because of that sentiment, we could probably categorically put Vaush in the realm of being a white supremacist.
Yeah.
Should you say it?
Yeah. He is a white Superman.
is.
Yeah.
We're gonna let it be
I
known.
mean,
We are gonna let it be known.
Well, he's a communist, so they're mostly
thing.
racist anyway.
yes, true.
Yeah. Same thing.
But to quote Brokich, I'm just saying.
White conservatives.
Yeah.
Why do you hate black conservatives?
I hate all conservatives, but black conservatives, because they have the gall of being conservative while having experienced more apropos than any other group in this country what it means to be under the heel of a white supremacist state.
Vaush,
Well, I
I'm gonna
spout
push
my
back.
white
I'm gonna
supremacist
push
idea.
back on that. We got two of us here.
Hmm.
Have you ever felt like limited in your movements around America, Mike?
No, I haven't. Never.
Oddly enough, me neither. Like I don't, and I know
Marlon-
quite a few black people that are the exact same mindset. They don't feel restricted.
And Marlon, we're young, but we're middle-aged men.
Mm-hmm.
Done lived life, done been around, and been here, been there, lived this, lived that. I've never experienced the things that he's talking about.
Look, we're both of us are halfway through what our lifespan is average to be.
Yeah.
And I'm yet. Jesse has been through more than half, and he's trying to tell you, and you won't listen.
No.
That tells me that you're stuck on stupid. That's like you trying to put down that next bite of food. It's kind of hard.
And
It
you know,
seems to me they're the ones who
and
have the
on,
greatest-
I'm sorry.
No,
And
go
on
ahead.
that, real quick, Cornel West, I was watching an interview with him. I don't know if you've seen it, but there was a young black man that called out Cornel West for saying something like that.
Mhm.
And Cornel West, if you don't know who Cornel West is, go look him up. He told this young black conservative that you're one of the lucky ones. That's why it's never happened to you. You're one of the lucky ones.
So it's luck.
It's luck that we've never gotten harassed or experienced anything racist.
So wait, can I take that luck and apply it to like my credit and money? And
Yeah.
that'd be great if you could do that for me.
The
Guess what?
best
Not
time to
transferable?
experience to experience racism on a demand for a black person is to say you're conservative in front of a liberal audience.
There you
That's
go.
right.
You'll feel it.
And I've experienced
and white conservatives.
Why do you hate black conservatives?
I hate all conservatives, but black conservatives, because they have the gall of being conservative while having experienced more apropos than any other group in this country what it means to be under the heel of a white supremacist state. It seems to me they're the ones who should have the greatest interest in voting against it.
Do you believe that America has always been a white supremacist state?
Since day one.
How is it that when I was growing up, under the Jim Crow laws, on the plantation, that black people did better than they are today? They had families, they got married, abortion was unheard of, they bought land, They built businesses. They became professionals. They went to college, those that wanted to go. And they did very, very well. If America is a Nazi country, why were blacks able to do better then than they are today?
Because white folk got more clever.
Mind you, this is the voice for black people.
Yep.
Black people stayed stupid. White people got smart.
Again, Ubermensch people mindset where like they just got better at being racist. That's what he's basically going on. Is like, yeah, they were doing well until we figured out a way to get those darkies. That's what he's saying.
Wow.
You know how they gotten better? By using allies like this.
Him. Yeah.
As like Malcolm X said, using white allies to let black people know that they're here to save them. That's how they've gotten better. And then they turn around and use the black people who follow them to spit all these insults at black conservatives. So they're not looking like the bad guy. They just use the black conservatives to do it.
Isn't
or the
it
black
also
liberals.
I mean, it's the same tactic Margaret Sanger used to try and peddle her
to eliminate.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
The black ministers play an important role in making sure that those who are opposing the Federation's viewpoints are going to be kept back in check, kind of thing. Yeah.
So here's the funny thing: is that what he's going to say is they got more clever. Well, no, the FBI got more clever. That's what happened. So the people that defend the FBI against Trump right now is the same FBI that used its same thing with the CIA, its power to destroy the black family in the first place. So yeah, if you want to talk about institutional powers, we can talk about the corruption of the FBI and try to take it down. But they're like, no, we got to defend it because they're right.
And white liberals like this defend the idea and that's why it got to where it got to now. It's their fault. They're the ones that did it. I'll let him wrap up real quick.
Back in the day, way they discriminated against blacks, all on the books. Black people can't use this school, this water fountain. Nowadays, they're much more clever. Drug war, systemic deregulation of certain industries, stripping funds from ghettos. That way, you keep the blacks in line, but you do it without a single racist law in the books.
Now, mind you, we are prone to crime, which is what he's saying. Let me translate it for you. We're prone to crime. And we should stay in the ghetto as long as it's funded.
Yeah, and then kill black children so that they don't
increase
in numbers.
So it's still the plantation. We want you around just where we can see you. Fund the ghetto so that black people can still stay in the ghetto, not try to get them out. No, stay in the ghetto, but we'll fund it for you.
Well, here's the thing. It's like liberals always want to keep African Americans in the cities. They never encourage them to move out of the cities.
Country. Right.
They always tell them you need to stay in the cities. We'll make the cities better for you. It's like, why? Tell them to move out, start a farm, do something else.
No, that's
why do you want to keep them in the city?
You got to keep the plantation, man.
And one thing you notice that he didn't bring up is how the powers that be are trying to destroy the black nuclear family. They're trying to emasculate the black man by pushing a certain agenda on that community, but he's not going to talk about that stuff because he agrees with it.
Yeah. And we'll see why in a minute here in a couple of his other videos.
And things have gotten worse. You're right.
What is wrong with black people that they allow themselves, because they were not like that prior to after the civil rights movement. What is wrong with black people that they allow themselves to be kept in a certain place or used in that way today?
I don't think there's anything
because
wrong
they
with
did
them.
not allow that prior to the civil rights movement. What's wrong with them, the men and women in the black families and black community, that they allow that to happen to them today?
That's kind of like asking what a wife did to deserve getting beaten by her husband, don't you think? I don't think they did anything wrong. I think they were
so again,
false equivalency, right?
And not only that, he's equating blacks to weak. To weak. Now, if you had said that's like asking, why would a burglar beat the house owner? That'd be one thing, equal. But now you're talking about the fact that women, weaker, did nothing to get beat by her husband, stronger. You innately believe that whites are better than blacks.
Yeah, so I said.
Yeah, I mean, he said
it. But he's right, because like here's the thing: is like the average household like income in the 60s for African Americans was higher than it is today. House ownership was higher than that it is today. Families were larger than it is today. Like all that stuff is crazy. Like when you think about it. So after the Civil Rights Act, it just like went away. It just went poof, just disappeared.
Civil Rights Act should never happen. And I hate the term African American. I despise.
I'm using it in their language.
Yeah. I know. I just like the way they made that up. I just like makes my eye twitch.
Americans, Black Americans, all
Americans.
Just
Americans.
Is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to.
Oh, God.
You can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to.
You
can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to.
Now, in case you don't know what that is,
what is that?
You can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to.
His entire desktop folder is littered with pornography. Pornography.
Yeah.
Of a very curious kind.
Agent?
No, I mean that might be that. I would
no.
I mean,
no, I can't show his still anymore. But this is.
It happened so fast. I was like, "What is this?"
That's a good thing. It's a very good thing that it happened fast.
Yeah, it's very blurred. It's for good reasons.
Oh, I don't want to.
But fair use, YouTube. This is for education purposes.
There you go. Watch what it was.
That's a horse.
There was a folder of a horse with yeah.
So he puts his pain folder with his wank material. He might actually genuinely like pony schlong.
And as you can see, taxes with pornography, right?
Why would you keep your taxes?
So did somebody like hack him?
No.
On live, his own live. He was on his own computer,
and he just slipped, and
it just slipped. I don't. Okay. I don't. In the age of streamers, with which people leave cameras on and do things, and there are things where people accidentally do stuff. Why would you keep your personal wank folder on your work computer?
He'll explain it. He'll tell you right now.
What's in that folder?
You ready? He'll tell you. Listen.
After all that, now we finally arrive at this most recent drama, the incident that lit a fire under Drama YouTube, and is, to my mind, the only thing I've done in the past 4 years that actually looks bad. It's pretty fucking embarrassing to say the least. So there I was streaming a few weeks ago, browsing a men's fashion site. I wanted to look.
Red flag. Go ahead.
At an image more closely. So I right-clicked to open the image in a new window, but then accidentally instead clicked the Save As tab in the right-click drop-down menu. Now, because I am, as has been extensively demonstrated in this video, a fucking idiot.
Yes.
My preferred strategy for keeping my desktop clean is to keep a single big folder called To Be Sorted, where every image, document, music file, whatever I happen to download gets sent. This is an insane thing to have as a live streamer, but there you
You're
go.
Stupid. Yeah, you said that. Yeah.
It's me. So I hit Save As, and a half second later, a preview window of the folder and its contents popped up on stream. And now, of course, that folder had porn in it. So I immediately ended the stream and deleted the VOD, even if it
because everybody.
But the internet is forever.
He says, "Of course it had." Of course. What do you mean? Of course, not everybody's like you, bro.
Of course, a horse, of course.
Come on, man.
I weren't just embarrassing to make a mistake like that as one of the largest political live streamers on the platform. It's TOS. You got to delete the VOD. So I stream with no delay, and folks are always screen capturing the feed. So I knew the contents of my To Be Sorted folder and the preview window were irrevocably public knowledge.
Yeah.
But to be honest, that didn't really bother me too much.
No?
It was embarrassing, sure, but mostly because it made me look like a careless idiot, not because I was ashamed of the furry demon monster GF big dick porn stuff.
You're not ashamed of that?
You should be very ashamed of that.
He's not afraid of his fetishes. That's fine.
That's an illegal fetish, isn't it?
Which one?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had in there. I had rambled about liking all that stuff on stream before, not a secret. And I thought, maybe in a way, this fuck up would come across kind of charming.
No,
What?
No, it didn't come across. Why would anybody consider horse porn charming, Vaush?
Oh man.
But look, man, look. I know you're trying to save face, and you think that the people that follow you are all of these disgusting things because that's how you think of black people too. But bro, that kind of stuff is not what normal people do. Okay,
No.
I just thought I'd let you know that's not normal. Okay, so just because you think it's normal, and because you've advertised it as such, does not make it normal.
It doesn't.
It does still freak people out that there are people out there that look at a horse and think that's my next partner. I mean,
Who does that?
He does, apparently.
Like, who wants to watch some chick take a shot to the jugular from a horse? Like, that's just disgusting.
That Vaush does.
You're assuming it was a woman.
Thank you.
So now what else is in that?
Now y'all just trying to make me throw up.
Now listen. If he's into that type of stuff, I can imagine what other type of stuff is in there. Wink, wink.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to say, I'm not going to do no slandering, nothing like that. So I'm not going to say it. But if you're into that type of stuff, what other type of weird stuff do you have in there?
But why the taxes thing? That's the thing that bugs me the most out of the whole thing. It's not the horse foliage and all that. It's the taxes. Why do you keep your taxes with your thing? Like, who in the right mind does that?
Well, apparently he is one of those, and he said he's stupid. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. You are indeed stupid, but you claim to be smart. So if you're a dummy, why should we listen to you? If you're inherently racist, why should we listen to you? And if you think black people are dumb, why are you gatekeeping black people?
Yeah.
You're no different than chicken and nuggets or nuggets and chicken or whatever the hell that little man's name is. You're no different because both of y'all think that black people can't do for self, and they need you, Mr. and Mrs. White Savior.
I got a thought, Marlon, real quick. The reason he likes that horse porn is because he's really into black dudes, mandingos.
I can see that.
The logic checks.
It checks out.
Yeah, the mandingo.
He did say we're not human, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's into non-human things, so
non-human things. So technically, when you say you hate, you probably wish you were a black conservative male.
Yeah.
It isn't human. That's right.
Hey,
you can't thump on a table.
You got it to yourself. Like,
you can't stud on a table.
Modern left is like, why do they have to make everything about like their fetish and that we have to celebrate their fetish? Why can't you just keep it to yourself like a normal person, right? Like, do we need to know who or what you sleep with? No, I don't know. I don't need to know where you take it or what you do with it. I don't care.
I don't care. Really don't. Just
the thing is,
do your thing, man.
The thing with the left is that they want you to care. That's the problem. It's attention whoring is what it is.
Yeah. They have most of leftists, what I've noticed on social media and most platforms is that most of them have very low self-esteem. So they're always looking for outside validation for the things they do. Because the people that look for outside validation about things that can be considered cliche or immoral, the more validation they get from the outside, the better they feel about doing the things they are doing. So with him having that picture or whatever, him talking about black people, whatever, the more validation he gets, it makes him feel more powerful. So they just got low self-esteem, man. They always need that outside validation. Always. So somebody probably saw that picture, was like, dude, I'm into that too. You too? Let's trade photos.
Last one, and this is the best one. Here we go.
Moral principles are rock solid.
Harassed a girl and then said she doesn't even deserve basic human rights.
Poppy is not worth apologizing to. She is barely worth the intrinsic human rights to which all human beings are endowed. Okay, she is a disgusting human being, and that doesn't mean what I did wasn't wrong. It does mean I will never apologize to her.
Wait, he's talking about a child that he harassed.
Sounds like somebody else. Sounds like somebody else we did a show on.
Yeah.
Tizzy.
Yeah.
It's almost like these white liberals are all cut from the same cloth. They're butchy.
Yeah.
They're butchy. They're mannish, brutish, uncouth,
and they like children. Isn't that weird?
And they think they're untouchable too.
Yeah.
They really do. Can't hide behind a computer screen his whole life.
Anyway, those are the y'all stay away from white saviors, man. Because look, if you're black out there and you really think that these people have your back, I hope you understand what they actually think of you. Even if you work hard, you can't never get nothing because you're not capable.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're gonna do when you do have the money. You still can't make it function. Especially conservatives, you're still stupid because you vote against the people that want to keep you in a location. Your place is the ghetto. You just have to wait till we fix it for you so you can have a better life. And you should not be voting for anything other than what they tell you to, which is Democrat. Because you can't.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to remind
yeah.
Of
and
talking about this.
And even if their thing is, if you vote outside of the plantation, they're really not going to say too much to you, especially on TikTok. They're going to use their black supporters to call you out, go to your page, harass you, dox you, hack your stuff. That's who they use.
Mm-hmm.
And these black people that support them, I mean, people can support whoever the hell they want. The ones that support them are Sambos. And we've said this many, many times.
So here, just a reminder for people.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox, and a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to, but the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling, and you take him for a friend.
Oh.
But if y'all want to stay there, I'm not gonna fight you. Stay there. That's that. Now, tomorrow's Rumble event may or may not take place. I do have another test that I have to have run at 2:00 my time, and I don't know if it'll get done in time because I don't know how long the test is going to be. So it'll be up in the air by ear, and we'll see how I feel after the test and all that stuff. How that works. So yeah, just keep an eye out on Rumble to see if that does take place. I'll also try and trigger a notification on YouTube in case you get that support, so you'll know when it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Monday we have no topic yet, although we could probably discuss the Steve Bannon situation.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve Bannon going to jail. He's supposed to report to jail and serve for months.
Yeah, he's going. The judge left a caveat for him to appeal, though, so I think he's going to do that and prolong him going in. So we'll talk about. We'll just go ahead and talk about Steve Bannon and see what the implications are, and see if they have things across the board, like they like to say, no one's above the law. Let's see if that's really true. So contempt of Congress is what they're holding him for, and
somebody else.
It's so odd that Hillary did that.
Hunter
did that. Garland did that.
Yeah,
it's weird, and they're kind of weird, but they're still out and walking.
Yep.
Interesting.
The AGO under Obama too for Fast and Furious.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, jeez.
Comey. Anyway, the list goes on. So we'll talk about Bannon on Monday. Too Strong will be on tonight. We just haven't set it up yet, but we will be there. It may be either 8:30 or 9 Eastern, one of those two times, but we will be on. And we'll see you guys again on Monday. Like I said, I'll have a conversation with you guys about Bannon. Mr. Lee.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on Rumble tomorrow.
Peace.
War.